Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Hey.
Man.
Good morning. First guy Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Welcome. Fresh edition is happening now. Man, April the 9th, 2025. So
already
hump day today, Wednesday.
Get the hump up off my back.
That is the trick. The trick is to try to get the hump off your back.
Man.
Be on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Appreciate everybody coming on through. Pops first in the chat. Good Wednesday morning, first guy, and mad love from Las Vegas. All right, Pops. I thought you was
Paul
playing hooky today.
Nah, it's hump day. I told you it's Pops Day. I told you. We're just talking about you. Good to see you. Top of the morning.
Yeah, man. That's what's going on. Appreciate everybody that's coming in. RG says morning, y'all. Yeah, appreciate everybody coming in this morning. It is Wednesday. I'm feeling pretty good on a Wednesday. How you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling good actually. Feeling real well rested. I think the fact that last couple of days were kind of rainy out here might have helped.
Does the rainy days help you rest a little bit?
Yeah, they do.
That's what's up. Julie Prinzler in the chat saying go Blue Dot. Man, big win for the Blue Dot yesterday for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little later.
Absolutely. RG in the chat says I think we know the local headlines will be jumping on at some point. We know the local headlines will be jumping on at some point. Okay.
Yeah. Squabble up.
Yep. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Appreciate you. Mark Manor says good morning from the record store. Hey. You want to buy a Sam Cooke album? Where would you go? Record store. Record store day coming up, as a matter of fact, a Saturday, I believe. So
this Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, get ready to get your collection tight over there at Homer's.
Yeah, I'm seeing some events.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Y'all doing anything?
Say good.
I'm asking Mark Manor, are they doing anything
for record store day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a huge event over there. Yeah. Tell us about it. There's usually the line wrapped around the corner. I think he had to get a porta potty this time so people stand in line for hours.
Yeah.
So special record store day stuff. I closed my record store right before record store day was invented. I wish I would have been around when it was here because special releases come out, all kinds of stuff happens nationally, kind of National Record Store Day. Pretty dope. Love it.
Man.
Appreciate you guys coming in. Mama God says up and ready. Good morning. We're right on. Heather Williams says good morning, everyone. Michelle Moreno says I need a new record player. Heard that. That's what's going on. Appreciate everybody coming on in. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got a lot going on today. If you can see at the top of the show there that we're anticipating brother Myron Pierce to come on today. So that'll be a conversation we've been anticipating having. Myron Pierce was one who suffered the gunshot wound to the face just recently. And he pretty much got out of the hospital bed and got on a mic and started talking about, how we need more peace and togetherness in our community. And it's really been standing up. So appreciate everybody who is who was paying attention to that story, and hopefully we'll be able to have a nice conversation with him about what he sees needed out here for sure.
Man, looking forward to that in a real way. What else is good in the hood, man? What's going on?
Yeah, lots going on. It's good in the hood. Like I said, Record Store Day is happening. Mark Manor says they got just hundreds of exclusive releases. We have 500 plus in line staying overnight. That's how big Record Store Day is around Homer's.
Okay.
Big time, man. So yeah, get ready, get your collection ready. Black Dynamite in the chat saying good morning, y'all. Anthony Hart saying good morning. Appreciate you coming in. RG says MP can't keep a real one down. My guy says like, share, follow, and consider financial support to keep the first guy fight alive. Thank you. I appreciate
you go. Hey,
reminding us to say that. Yeah. Big time. We're going to definitely jump right into some community updates. Of course, we all have seen the news and stuff floating around and big conversations on Friends of First Guy Omaha. Of course, we got to mention the endorsement. It's got everybody riled up. Bud Crawford endorsing Mayor Stothard, and some of the highlights from some of the discussion that's happening on Friends of First Guy is Brother Sherman Wells saying he didn't write that, which I thought was hilarious. But he did. He doubled down on this. This was an endorsement, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it. A lot of people disappointed, and a lot of conversation. If you want to see some of that conversation, go over to Friends of First Guy Omaha.
Man,
But a lot of that conversation culminated in Brother Bud giving his statement, and basically he's like, "Listen, somebody got something to say? Kick rocks."
kick rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, we can do what we want. The end of his statement is the thing that really stuck with me though. He says MF don't even support each other is the crazy part. And that is that for him to end his statement with that, yeah, it's an indictment. It's something that we formed all this to work on supporting each other. He's right. Like we need more support, more togetherness in the community. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the biggest point. The biggest point is how do we continue to engage and agree to disagree, talk, but in the end, stay together, get together as a community. It's going to be more important than any politician, any one politician that's in there. So is what it is. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Also, Celeste is in the chat. Celeste Butler, One Love fam, appreciate you. Tony Johnson said, busy day, need to check on rentals. Heard they are now stealing home air conditioners and units on the north side. Haven't heard that. So show me some receipts on that. Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Sky family, and happy hump day. Appreciate you. RG said, there it is. Yeah, we had to talk about it. We definitely had to talk about it. It was a pretty big deal. But it begs the question for me, what is an endorsement anyway? What, when somebody asked in the chat, when his endorsement ever really meant anything? What is it? Is it going to make you change your mind on who you voting for? What's the deal? Is it just a brother who has decided that this is who he wants to endorse, and you think this endorsement hurts the community? Is it really just like it's his business who he wants to endorse and make up your own mind? I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning. So yeah, that was part of it. That's all part of it. But to me, again, the biggest point for me is the let's keep the communication going within the people in the community, because our togetherness is what's gonna win over anything else that's happening to anybody else that's in running for office. So we'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, we got more important things to talk about, such as the young brother who lost his life, Shalimar Davis. He was the 15-year-old that got shot and killed just recently, and there is a fundraiser now that is they're putting up in order for us to be able to donate and help him be buried. So unfortunately, this is the latest young person who lost his life, 15 years old. They put here's the cash app we're putting in the chat right now in order for you to be able to help donate for that. That's something that the community has been really working on as well. So we definitely have to mention that, unfortunately, and move on from there if that's all possible. But I think a lot of what we're going to talk about today does have to do with public safety. This is a question that's going on all the way around. As a matter of fact, there was a media advisory from the police department recently as well that we really need to talk about, and this had to do with these drugs that are floating around right now. If I can grab the advisory, Omaha Police Department identifies presence of carfentanil in the metro area. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about this. There's a story about them just seizing all these pills, but they had put out an advisory a little last week saying Omaha Police Department's narcotics unit has identified the presence of carfentanil within the Omaha metro area. Carfentanil is a highly potent synthetic opioid, approximately 10,000 times stronger than morphine and 100 times more potent than fentanyl, which we all know about the potency of fentanyl. One pill you can overdose. It's a emergence in local drug markets is extremely concerning, and even minimal exposure can lead to fatal overdoses, including among opioid tolerant individuals. So there's more to it there. You can look at on Friends of First Sky Omaha. Good news is it looks like they seized 15,000 pills. We'll be talking about that in the show a little bit more, trying to get that stuff off the street. And when this kind of thing is happening, we just decided we needed to put this out to our listening public. We don't know who's doing what, but the word on the street is they've been hiding this stuff in powder, in cocaine, of course, the pills. So this is and it's highly potent, way more potent than fentanyl, which is very concerning. So, stay away from it if you can. Um, and that's what we got to say about that. So that's something we decided we wanted to really kind of bring out as well, to make sure that everybody got word that this is happening, so they can kind of look out for it. There's a lot of organizations around that you can get Narcan and stuff like that for people who are overdosing, and we'll try to find some more information on that. Put it on Friends of First Sky Omaha, and where you can what to look for and what you can do to help if it comes down to it. So yeah, that was kind of like a little bit of a public service announcement that's
Right.
happening there. Yeah, and we needed to talk about. So with that, there's of course a lot more things going on in the community. If you have anything that's that you think we need to be talking about or bringing up, please put it in the chat or put it on Friends of First Sky Omaha. And again, we appreciate everybody that's coming in this morning to do that. Buddy, what else are we going to be talking about today? Lots to talk about. Again, we're anticipating Myron Pierce coming on the show to talk to him. But what else is on the agenda today, if you would?
Well, yeah, definitely want to touch on the winner take all situation. See a few people giving the blue dot, a shout out.
Blue dot.
Yeah. I do want to spend some more time to talk about a few of the things that you mentioned. I think Black Dynamite is in the chat, going along with what I'm saying as far as the whole Bud Crawford. Hey, ain't nobody gonna step in the ring with him though. Like, if you disagree, put on the gloves.
Squabble up.
Friendly fisticuffs. Yeah, squabble up. Yeah, man, I'm not really surprised by that whole Bud Crawford situation, and looking from his perspective, they've he's done some things and actually has a working relationship with Mayor Jean Stothert. So I'm not surprised that he endorsed her. She just threw him a parade and gave him some land. So hey, what have you done for me lately? I mean, hey. But yeah, anyway, we do have other things to talk about. Definitely want to get into and set up this whole public safety conversation. We'll actually be looking back at now that we know our candidates for the D2 North Side, if you will. Again, Brother Ben Gray's sister, Lavanya Goodwin. Definitely want to look back at their answers from our interviews on public safety, kind of get their perspective, and again dive into this conversation with Brother Myron Pierce, who has a very, very interesting kind of stance in public safety. If you know his background, his story, which hopefully we'll learn a little bit more of that today if you don't know his story. But again, someone who works in the community, an activist, understanding the relationship between the community and the police, and then he himself being a victim of violence. So he's taken a very interesting stance as far as his calls for peace. And just looking forward to being able to pick his brain a little more, especially from the angle of public safety, as we gear up towards the summer. We know things get hot. There's definitely some things going on in the community. Big shout out to Brother Sherman Wells. Again, we've been shouting out his sermon over the weekend. He made the announcement that they will be bringing back the activities that they had at the Bryant Center, but this time at the Assembly of the Saints, which was a big public safety move. If you paid attention to what was going on and the impact that they had, it's just that they didn't want to give them the credit. So definitely looking forward to those conversations to see what Brother Myron Pierce has to say, how he's feeling about the community, taking a pulse on that, looking at our candidates, and also, again, looking at this winner take all situation. There's a few other things happening as well on the Trump side of things, some IRS situations to look into. Again, it is bill season, or as far as tax season coming up. So, man, yeah, we all feeling it. But very, very interesting move from the IRS recently, as far as them teaming up with ICE, and actually kind of news and headlines for us. We've gotten contact from South Omaha, a few individuals out of South Omaha who possibly want to team up with us. So again, we're definitely still, east side minded. And with these ICE moves, I don't know if anyone has also heard about what's going on with the gentleman out of Maryland who was just randomly sent to an El Salvadorian prison. Yeah. Like I said,
Wow.
I've been telling y'all, prison ain't like slavery. It is slavery. And if you're paying attention, yeah, the slave trade is alive and well. So definitely, definitely want to talk to our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and just, kind of love to hear your thoughts on this whole IRS situation. Maybe your information could be sent to ICE and all of this. We don't know what's going on with these moves. We'll definitely love to hear your thoughts on that. And also, as Paul mentioned, I did want to make a touch really quickly before we get to break, about 15 minutes into the show. I wanted to touch on the whole carfentanil. Is that the new drug? Is that the new man? Listen, even if you don't take the stuff, you don't mess with any of it. If you have young people in your life, please talk to them, because I'm hearing about new designer drugs every day. Like, man, please, it's all kind of stuff out there. Like, it wasn't like this when I was younger, when I was in high school. It's just all kinds of just, man, yeah, something new coming out, and it's getting more and more dangerous. I just heard of something called whips or something. It's this like compressed fume these kids are inhaling. Is, man, yeah, talk to your young folk. Please talk to your young folk. And that is an interesting side of this whole public safety conversation, as far as the quote unquote war on drugs. We know what that actually is, as far as the dog whistle for racist war. But drugs really are impacting the community. That is a conversation that needs to be had, which is kind of where we are in the middle of this. We do know that there is a need for security and police in the community, but how far does it go? How does that look? What does that look like? So again, jumping into all of those and more. Like I said, we're a little past 15 minutes into the show. Maybe time for a break. What say you, Paul?
Yeah, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into some of the comments and the discussion. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Appreciate all you Chad Chambers Ghost listeners and monitoring spirits that have come to check us out. We'll talk more when we get back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children.
Shout out to the Douglas County Health Department. Appreciate everybody that has been paying attention to some of this and contacting them, try to get a handle on this stuff that has to do with this lead in our community. So definitely appreciate them working with us to spread that message out and all that good stuff. When jumping into the chat, man, there's a lot going on in the chat right now. Heather Williams, we were talking about endorsement with Brother Crawford. She said his endorsement doesn't change my mind at all. He did what was best for him. Ewing for mayor. So we got a lot of people on that tip for Ewing this time around. Mark Manor in the chat says there has to be proof that endorsement work, or they wouldn't spend so much time going for them. Yeah, a lot of people think it's a move. It's a move. I guess you're right. There probably is proof that endorsements probably can change some minds. It doesn't seem like anybody in our circle's mind is going to be changed about anything over an endorsement, but you never know. RG in the chat says my thoughts on endorsements are for those that really aren't engaged in the civic process. So and so says that politician X is all good with them, so they're all good with me.
Man, it's the same people who say I like bacon, so I voted for bacon. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of there's people. I'm not going to say that they're stupid, but there's an uninformed portion of the public who, whether willingly or unwillingly, due to access to information.
My question is, are those people voting impressionable or not? Are those people voting is kind of the question. So
that's a good question.
Could be. Moving on, we got a lot going on in the chat before we get to our guest here. Mama God in the chat says, if fentanyl can easily take you out, then why you need something stronger? Sign up to go to Mars with Musk if you need to be that high.
SpaceX. Hey, I heard they're recruiting.
There you go. RG in the chat says, and really endorsements were a bigger thing before information age. That's true. We're getting a lot more information out there as well. Brother Kasim is in the chat. Peace to you. He says, man, he got a big announcement coming. He says, we will be introducing the Honorable Marcus Garvey Day for Black August. Stay tuned. Hey, for August. Appreciate that. Right on. Matthew Rogers right in the chat saying the blue dot is not even close to the most important thing that happened legislatively. No city in Nebraska can impose rent control now. So how are we going to get affordable housing now? Good question. We'll come back to the big win for the blue dot. We haven't really talked about that too much too, but I do think that it's a pretty big win, and everybody was kind of down for it. Shout out to everybody who went out to the rotunda at the Capitol to really kind of help support this idea that we don't want winner take all, and they did that. So some interesting stuff going on there. I was seeing in the Friends of First Sky Omaha a lot of comments and stuff like that was going on there that I thought was really interesting and pretty cool. I think it was Marianne Williams. Let me see if I can find her quote real quick to crack me up. She says, I love that Pete Ricketts announced earlier today that the Nebraska Unicamera would be passing winner take all today and was denied that satisfaction. So Nebraska winner take all dies on the unicameral floor, and many other things, as Anthony Rogers Wright is bringing out, happen in the unicameral we'll be talking about as well. So shout out to him on that. Mama God says, speaking of immigration, it's not immigrants that's bringing them to U.S. It's mainly our own citizens. My question about this situation with the IRS giving information to ICE is, why are you these are tax paying people? I don't understand it. Very interesting stuff. I don't know. T Ren in the chat says, I guess white man ICE is colder because no way all the smoke was for being gray for being in Stothard back pocket, yet all of a sudden real quiet for a famous Stothard supporter. Fandom is a heck of a drug. I don't know if I agree with that. I think there was a whole lot of backlash about being gray and being in Stothard. Matter of fact, they got him voted out and brought in.
Yeah, it's pretty much what got Juanita and Johnson in office. Right. If we're being honest, that's pretty much what got him up out of there. Yeah. But at the same time, my pushback to that, T-Ran, all love, all respect, but it's a difference. I mean, one, Ben Gray being an elected official who has pull, who has teeth. He's a city councilman. Like, his affiliations and his political leanings matter. Bud Crawford is a boxer who hasn't been very vocal on many political matters before this to begin with. I wasn't expecting a very groundbreaking political view. He might have brothers like Brother Kasim around him, but even Brother Kasim, who, is knowledgeable, has also admittedly not been very active and interested in the political sphere. So, in the
past.
Yeah. So again, just no disrespect to those brothers, but I really wasn't expecting a groundbreaking political view from them. Like And
anyway, like we were talking on Monday, though, it's almost like, yeah, that's nice, but we ain't dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
Anthony Lewis cracking me up. Hey. Mean Gene new political campaign stunt. No, everybody's really kind of seeing it as a little bit of a stunt, and they're grouping it in with some of the other stuff that's happening. Like more land for the boxing, more expansion of the gym, the stadium they're giving with North, the stadium that North High is getting. She's been in there 12 years, and we just now getting a couple things, and it feels like a stunt. I mean, happy that it all is happening at the same time, but it does kind of like the timing is very suspect. Feels like
she done doubled down with the Bud endorsement. She done doubled down on y'all. Y'all ain't fooled. Bud Crawford.
Yeah, then everybody had a lot to say, man. And I feel like what could Bud do but come back and defend it? You and your mama can kick rocks, bro. Said I endorse who I want. Y'all don't even support each other. I mean, brother got a point. Brother Kasim was one of the first people that came on the scene and was like, well, I guess we got to get behind Ewing. And I thought that was pretty profound. I thought that was pretty profound that he came on and said that.
Yeah.
And, he worked directly with the brother. That's the brother's guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like he's saying in the chat, man, we used to moving without him. That's to me the big point is like let's all make sure that we stay together as a people because it don't matter who's off, who makes it, who's in office. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody got their something, bro. Like people have come to me like concerned that Ewing used to be a police, used to work for the police department and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I'm glad you mentioned that. Again. Like, where do we stand as far as the whole public safety thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we do have we did some interviews. I know you guys know by now because we've been talking about it, but we did some interviews with the candidates. You can check it out over on YouTube. And one of our big questions with the candidates were public safety. The race now seems to be down to Lavanya Goodwin and Ben Gray, and they both had a couple things to say about some public safety. I don't know if you want to jump into that real quick and take a look and see what was said.
Yeah. It looks like our guest is teeing up, so we can pivot to that conversation. But the segue again: mayor, city council.
Yeah. What are they going to do is kind of is the real question as well. So that's definitely part of it. We got to kind of figure that part out in a big way. But here's one of the candidates, what she had to say. Stay tuned. Let me get this together here real quick.
To answer your question, along the lines with that same scenario, we were told that nuisance entity could only be managed if there were enough police in the area. So what that meant, what did that mean? A lot of the neighbors in that area were still experiencing sleepless nights, drug paraphernalia in their yards, fights, and a lot of other nefarious things happen after 2:30 in the morning. So really, I've taken the pathways to solve problems on a numerous levels because I do believe give people a chance to be a good neighbor, right? Give people a chance to community problem solve. And so today, we've seen the adverse effect of when at least the precinct tells us there's not enough police. And unfortunately, that adverse effect has been lost lives. Since 2022, in the North 24th Street Business Improvement District area, we've had 6 homicides. But guess what? 5 of those homicides happened after 2:30 in the morning. And I look at that as lives being saved. So no matter what those individuals were doing, they should still be here. And so when I look at that holistic perspective, again, I can't stress more that first you do start neighbor to neighbor, community to community, but then when those channels don't work, you need to look to alternative solutions to ensure that the community as a whole.
She went on to talk. She went on to talk about the fact that the police department is saying that they need more police presence in order for some of these ordinances and things that she wants to put in place to work. That they need the police presence. I'll jump to one more before we jump and dive into the discussion on that because this is going to be important. These are 2 people running for District 2, and this is what they have to say about public safety. And a lot of the part that they're playing there is because of the fact that they gotta talk to the mayor about where to put the money and what to do about public safety, and this is going to be very important. So definitely check what Brother Gray has to say on this subject as well.
But what I'm most proud of what I've been doing is going out of town with members of the network to explain how 360 works. And we've got a number of cities now that have bought into our theory about violence prevention. And Kansas City being one of them, Tulsa being another one, Lansing, Michigan. We've got a number of places where we've been throughout these last couple of years, where we've talked to them about the 360 violence prevention, talked to them a little bit about how the network works. And in several instances, several cities have picked up not only on our 360 violence prevention, but also how the network operates as well in the community. So those are the things that I've been doing, and those are the things that I'm very proud of. I'm most proud of the fact that our violence prevention, our violence numbers are almost unheard of in almost any other place.
So again, Brother Gray is touting the 360 model. So he's been part of what's going on with Empowerment Network and the 360 model, which we've been hearing a lot about all over the place because there's certain, like you were saying, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and other cities were coming to see how we were handling that stuff, which was really interesting, and want to copy the model. And I even just heard that somebody on the South Side is trying and wants to put that together too for the South Side, a 360 model in order to try to cut down on some of the violence as well. So and we all know that the 360 meetings, I saw somebody in the chat earlier said they were going to try to show up to a 360 meeting, Tony Johnson, I believe. And the 360 meetings are a conversation between the community and the police department. Schmatter is there, Chief is there. So working with the police is the reason why I keep on, anybody who's doing any work with the police, I feel like are the ones that are saying, yes, we are 100 police officers down. We need more policing and so on and so forth. They are talking about alternative things. A lot of the candidates talked about bringing in a mental health specialist instead of the police on some things, and even taking some of the budget and the police budget and spending that on mental health facilitators instead of it always being a police matter all the time. But for the most part, it seems to me like law enforcement is looked at in this city as champions of getting the violence down and helping the situation out. I don't know how you feel about it. Let us know in the chat. Let us know on Friends of First Sky Omaha. But I think it's pretty interesting seeing as all the things that are happening in our community right now, especially. So, but buddy, what say you on that? I see you digging into the chat a little bit.
Yeah. I'm listening. The chat's going off in a real way, and I appreciate that. We always, we're here to stir up conversation. So yeah, thank you for that. Also listening to what you're saying, and it is an interesting dynamic. And also just thinking of my own thoughts, that's a thing here, and just wrapping up this whole conversation into, really, what are we going to do? Like it comes down to, what are you individually going to do? What can we do as a collective? But we all have to do something. I see a lot of conversation. I'm just kind of looking at the chat, to wrap up the whole Bud Crawford thing, though. Really, the point is, you have to decide for yourself what you want. And my point earlier was that, endorsements, I feel like, work for those who are on the fringes, those who are kind of uninformed, not really sure which way to lean themselves. So, somebody who they might agree with leaning a certain way might have influence. But again, I don't think that's the bulk of our listenership. I like to think that most people listening to this are in some way, shape, or form informing themselves and want to be informed. So with that, as we set up for our guests, those are our 4 options as far as District 2 goes, and we're setting up the whole conversation of public safety. And Brother Ewing being a former police officer, and maybe agreeing that we might need to hire more 100 officers. Is that something that you agree with? Do you agree with Mayor Jean Stothard's stance on public safety and what we've seen between her relationship, with Chief Tosh Schmatter and the police? Do we agree with what we just saw with, either Brother Ben Gray? I'm seeing some people, a few people not agreeing with the 360 model that Brother Ben Gray is touting. But did you like what Sister LaVanya Goodwin had to say? These are our 4 options. And again, my point is, if you don't agree with any of these 4 options, or don't like what they're saying as far as public safety, because this is something, as we will get into with the Brother Pierce, that we have to address. What are you going to do about it? Because these are your 4 options, and if this isn't good enough, then it's left up to you.
And just one more thought on that. I wanted us to remember, to me, my point is what Senator Jerome McKinney always says, which is that's only one part. The who we have in those seats in the office is only one part of what we need to do. The rest of it is really going to be up to us and how we get together to do that. So what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Definitely the question. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to bring our brother who's waiting in the wings in. Stay tuned. Myron Pierce up next. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be Buddy the Guy. Stay tuned, y'all.
16-year-old Myron Pierce.
Welcome back. Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B, buddy to God, man. I wanted to play a little bit of this video, but tech be checking. We'll check it out real quick. If you don't, let's see here. If we can
What you got?
come back with it. Here we go. Take a look.
16-year-old Myron Pierce is still standing.
I woke up this morning in tears, not because I'm mad, not because I'm frustrated, but like I'm just thankful, man.
Pierce is thankful to be alive. He was shot in the face while walking his dog near 19th and Sprague earlier this week.
It went right through me. Yeah. No, it was a miracle. No, man, they were just they were like literally like, you know, I'm on a sidewalk, so they're not far. They're like less than 10 feet away. I should be here.
But Myron is here, and he's already forgiven whoever fired the shots that now cause him so much pain.
Our young people don't feel like we love and care for them anymore. They feel like it's so much of a big of a distance, and they feel like we're looking down on them, and they're like, man, there's no hope, and you know, I'm gonna die anyway, you know what I mean? And the reason why I understand it, because I was them. I was a young gangbanger, for real, right? And I found hope, man, and I'm gonna keep it real. Not everybody gonna find hope this way, but I found.
That's what's up. That's what's up. If you guys hadn't seen the story, definitely check that out. Shout out to Brother Chapman over there at WOWT, who put that together. But man, we got to hear the story from so many different sources, and now we got the man himself in order to hear it from him personally, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, Brother Myron Pierce in the chat with us this morning. Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, brothers. It's good to see y'all.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Yeah,
man.
I got to tell you, man. From everything that I've been seeing, if you can lower that volume down just a tad bit, you kind of backfiring there on that. If from everything that I've been seeing, it's a trip because you've been kind of the voice for peace and change, man. I've been telling people the story and being like, the brother hopped out about the hospital bed and grabbed the mic and got on and was calling and was saying, look, this is the opportunity to do something. It's like we lost him here. Yeah, a little bit of tech difficulty. That's why I'm kind of coming back in earlier, so hopefully he'll get that together. Get your questions ready for the brother, if you would. I'm sure he'll be coming back, and we'll be talking about it. But man, profound story, profound thing that just happened. As you can see, grace of God. You know what I'm saying? That the brother stayed alive, but he did not back down from it. He did not back down from the platform. Okay, looks like we got you back. You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate you. Keep trying with the tech here. I know the tech can be frustrating for sure.
All good.
But I was just telling you that I really admired the fact that you use your platform, man. You got up and you started calling for peace. You started telling us what we need to do out here in this community, and so first and foremost, man, just want to thank you for that, and like Buddy said, just appreciate that you're here. Appreciate you. Tell us how you doing, man. We turn it over to you. Tell us how you doing, how you feeling.
You know, I'm feeling good, all things considered. I have surgery this Friday, so big prayers and thoughts on that. As far as physically, I feel really well. I think over the last it's always been 2 weeks now, and so I think I'm kind of coming down, if you will, into the realization. I mean, even this morning, just looking myself in the face in the mirror, and just like, man, like I almost lost my life, and that compounded on after I got shot 5 days later. My grandma passed away. We just buried her yesterday, and you add into that the mix of having kids, right? Who my youngest daughter, when she saw me, literally fainted. And so trying to navigate that, what does that mean? What does all this mean for, Myron Pierce and our community and how I engage? And so just tons and tons of thoughts like, what if I wasn't walking my dog that day? What if somebody, what could I have prevented? All these things of like, what you could have, would have, should have. But what's been helpful for me is it's been just a core team of people, everything from my therapist to my psychiatrist to beautiful spiritual people who have just come alongside me, to my woman who's really kind of taken care of me over the last almost 14 days, man. So I'm in good spirit. I've kind of nicknamed myself the comeback kid.
Okay.
Just I just kind of live by that. Like anybody can come back from anything, as long as you had the right response to what happens to you. So yeah.
Man.
Well, we feeling the impact out here, man, in a big way. Sorry to cut you off there, buddy. Yeah, I'm just amazed by your resilience and the way that you came back out to really kind of speak on this. I think everybody in Omaha that's been checking this out. I've been talking to people even outside our community that's amazed by the story. Find you super brave and for being able to speak out, and hopefully you're feeling all the love that I feel like everybody has for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been my life been like a movie, like for real. Growing up here in North Omaha, like I'm from here. A lot of people can't say that, like that they from here and have a vested interest. And like I said earlier, when you've done so much wrong in the community, like I have 20 plus years ago, and like all of us, like we all have had hard starts. We all could say that. Grew up in the projects. Mom was on drugs. Daddy was on drugs, and we all got that story at some level. And to go to the penitentiary and to get out and to be involved in faith organizations, and to literally 2 years ago have a mental health breakdown and crisis in front of the whole city that ruined a lot of relationships and, quite frankly, my marriage and my kids. It just happened 2 years ago, right? To almost lose my business, to almost go bankrupt, and then 12 weeks, 2 weeks ago to be almost taken out. It's been a movie, and all I can just say is thank you, God, that I just feel like my life is a book that people can learn what not to do and to learn what to do, and maybe be a blueprint for how we can help save our kids.
Man, I'm glad you touched on that part of your life, that part of your story, because some people in the chat giving you some love, but some people might not know about your story and the work that you do. And the fact that redemption is something that is from what I've seen, as far as you just coming back, like the comeback kid is definitely a fitting name. And to know just everything that you've been through is very interesting, because from our perspective, it's been nothing but positive. And I do want to ask, like, the purpose behind everything that you're doing. Like, some people can have the same exact story that you've had and use it to go bad and use it to go left, and use it as an excuse, like, man, life, I just got a bad hand and that just is what it is, and it's just bad. But you own the pond, the church that you had. I mean, I know personally people who have gone to your church and the impact that the fellowship and the congregation that you built had on their lives, and the work that you're doing in the community will own the pond. And like, so what is the purpose behind all that drives all of that in the face of what you just explained?
It's crazy because, like, when most dudes who start out as, first of all, they start off a pastor, so I start off in the street, but like, and then and then God call you and you end up doing the work inside of his family, and it don't go hard. We had a lot of success and people's lives have been changed, and that's always been my heart. And I think that's why God allowed me to have that platform. And I exited that platform kind of shamefully, really. Actually, not that any other person of my caliber don't have a right to fail, because all of us do. Because I never put myself on a pedestal, right? I always said I'm a flawed man. I always said I'm imperfect. And I always said, if we're going to follow the Bible, you can't cancel me. You can't cancel me. If you're going to follow the Bible, you can't cancel me. You'd have to cancel David, Elijah, Abraham,
Hello.
Peter.
Hello.
James, John. You'd have to cancel everybody. So that gave me the confidence um, to still have the driving force behind everything that I do, being that hope is still in my heart, and that God is still with me, and that I'm still his son, and that regardless of what church or doctrine, or I've been on this journey, y'all, of like unboxing God, that I've recognized that even Christians don't have a corner, and I might not get no amens, but Christians don't have a corner on God. That every single person, that God is out to reach every single person, no matter their position, no matter their persuasion, no matter their conviction, no matter their dogma. And so on the pond then accentuates this idea of hope by saying, if we can restore hope to our community, we can get us to refocus on unity, which is our own potential. There's no grant, there's no government, there's no elected official that has the capacity without us to solve our problems, because we have the solutions. And a couple years ago, I thought about this. I said, we've heard people say, give a person a fish, feed them for a day, teach them how to fish, feed them for a life. And that has kept our community helpless. It's kept us focused in the pantry lines. It's kept us in the educational systems that aren't really designed for our actualization. It's actually designed for our uniformity. It's designed for us to go to the workforce, to work a good job, to get a retirement, and to die with our dreams not fulfilled, and to die with our dreams not being the solutions to our communities. And so I had this aha moment one day as I was pastoring, that the pulpit isn't sufficient. It gives people some spiritual food, but if my pulpit doesn't extend beyond into economic stability, then it's no pulpit at all. Because even Jesus himself turned 5 loaves and two fish into a whole banquet in the wilderness and made sure everybody ate. And so when I think about the idea of owning the pond, it's really that if I can own it, you can't steal it, you can't take it, but I can pass it on to my kids, and I can build a legacy. And I think that's what our community need, and communities like ours.
I've been really wanting you to get on, because I've been wanting to hear about On the Pond. I've seen some of the social media stuff that you've done, and some of the live stream stuff that you've done, and I really have been wondering. Tell us about the inner workings of your organization. What is it there for, and what do you do?
Yeah, so On the Pond is an entrepreneurial development company, and we just have one mission: to unleash the entrepreneurial potential in every urban community around the world. And we're in 5 different cities right now. So I started, 12, 15 years ago with this idea that what if we could turn every hood into an urban opportunity zone? And what if our solutions were inside of us? So I started off training, coaching, and providing entrepreneurial support. And that led to South LA, Colorado Springs, Omaha, Selma, Kansas City. And I'm just on a mission, bro, for not just Omaha, but every hood deserves to be unlocked, because every hood has potential. We just got to actualize it.
That's what's up. You have you guys are running an event space. Did I see that on your page? Uh-oh.
We lost him.
Yeah, a little bit of technical difficulty here going on this morning, but I appreciate him coming on, and we'll wait for him to come back. Appreciate all the love that's being.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to acknowledge that.
Big time, big time. Anthony Rogers Rice says all the love. Good to see you, brother. Also, RG says, "Oh, Myron P rocking them Sherman threads."
Yeah, man. Got that hoodie.
Hoodie, man. Tony Johnson is asking, "What's your experience working with the police in this incident?"
Man.
Question. Mama God said, "Grandma was left back to protect you. Glory be to God for Grandma's protective spirit."
Man.
Heather says, "God is good. Glad to see you are well." Man, Saul Soccer in the chat. Good morning. Says, "What's up, Myron? You're one of my favorite planets. Pleasant View East family." Oh,
Yeah,
Pleasant View.
Yeah. That's
Perhaps
old Omaha.
Old Omaha. Perhaps we need more programs like the PV days. This is up. Terry Crawford in the chat. Good morning. Says, "Good morning, First Sky fam. Much love to Brother Pierce. Let's collaborate in action. Agree. Ownership is key." Yeah, appreciate all the love, man. I feel like he's getting a lot of love from this community. I hope he feels that. I really hope he feels that love
Yeah,
and
man.
getting that support. I love learning about what brothers are doing in the community. It's like some of us, like we all have the same kind of idea, and we go about it in different ways and in ways that complement our own talents in order to be able to do it. And if we can get those things together, just like you said, there's no
Mm-hmm.
stopping us.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
And you know, more than him, like I definitely feel like or hope that he feels the love from the community, but I also hope the community feels the love from him. Like somebody who, you know, almost in a way lost his life to the community, you know, because whoever did this is still this is somebody's son, somebody's nephew, somebody's brother, somebody's friend that did this.
yeah,
And you know, the fact that he's still opening his heart and just leading from a place of love. I mean, if that's not God, like I don't know what is.
man. Well said. Well said. Appreciate it. 7:50 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got about another 10 minutes in the show anyway. We'll leave it open for the brother people if he's able to come back. But we appreciate everybody that gave him some love. Looks like he's on the way back right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and bring him in for the last few minutes of the show. All right, you back, bro?
Man, I'm sorry, man.
Hey,
No,
don't
you
worry about
good.
it. This is live, bro. We deal with tech problems all the time. Don't even worry
Yeah,
about
it happens. It happens. Yeah, yeah. I had to do some things earlier. It's all right. It's all right. We here. We here.
it. Yeah, we
I
here,
want to
bro.
drop the views. I want to drop the views.
Nah, man, you taking them up, man. You taking them up.
Yeah.
This is something, and I'm actually kind of, you know, I don't know the right word of disappointed, sad, but you know, I would have hoped to bring you on under different circumstances. You know what I mean? Like we've been meaning to speak with you for a long time. I was happy to meet you when when we met. I think that was a couple summers ago, or maybe last summer.
Yeah.
When I was in Omaha, you know, we met at the event Lala had at her pad.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, man. I've been, you know, and again, I've been to your church actually. I've been to your church. I know people who've gone to your church, and you know, just to see your story, just to see you as a figure in the community, we really appreciate. And you know, getting back to my purpose conversation, you know, not just the purpose that have driven you to do what you've done so far, as own the pond. And I know you kind of got cut off when you're talking about that, so you can pick up there. But I do want to get into, you know, the sense of purpose that you might be feeling now that you know, man, got a new lease on life, have the wisdom of everything that you've done right and done wrong, you know,
Right.
in the past, and what's next for you. So yeah, if you can kind of just, you know, touch back on Own the Pond, how people can get involved in, you know, what's next, man.
For real.
Yeah, my brother Kasim. I love that brother, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to your question about we run an event space. It's kind of like a mini Ritz Carlton, but it's that same vibe with my girl Ida. She was a Bosnian refugee, and we clicked up about a year ago. Honestly, started coaching her, and she sells sea moss, and she said, "Hey, I got this opportunity to grow my sea moss and have a little manufacturing company and kind of manufacturing plant, etc." And we stumbled upon this building, man, and we said, "What if we could turn this into not just an event space, Airbnb, a virtual kitchen, but what if it became a hub for entrepreneurship? And then what if it served the community?" So Intrigue was born, which is in the mini Ritz Carlton of south of Dallas, right?
I like that.
Um, and so it was a blessing because I was able to host my grandma's repast here yesterday. So it's been a blessing to the community. We're still looking for chefs and people who say, "Man, I want to go from brand to business," and give them an opportunity to grow. A lot of artists and photographers and videographers have used the space, so it's jumping off everything from vending events. I mean, it's so beautiful. And so when you think about this intersection of what happened to me, you know, just 2 weeks ago, I've been asking myself like, what's next, and where am I at? And I just keep hearing. I just honestly just keep hearing this, hearing the mission continues of hope and seeing people unlock their potential. Um, and over the last year, quite honestly, as the young people have been on my heart. So it's not a wonder. Like even before I was a head pastor, like I was a youth guy. You know, we had one of the largest youth groups in North Omaha, 500 kids, right? So I understand these kids at a level that some people really don't understand. And so, this Thursday, I'm at the Omaha Street School, right? Talking to kids, right? I'm trying to get back into DCYC. So I think the message of hope and on the pond and my travel, I'm just finishing up South LA. South LA is booming with their hubs, and I'm just looking to get into 46 more cities by the time that I'm 50. Is my goal that every urban community will have an urban opportunity zone that's comprised of local champions that are engineering, pioneering, entrepreneurship, training the next generation of entrepreneurs with entrepreneurial mindset, providing spaces and places for innovation and creativity, and then 360-degree mentoring is kind of what I'm going after, man. But God knows, I'm just out for the ride, bro. Honestly,
Man. That kind of brings it back to the overarching kind of theme of today's show as far as public safety, and we kind of went through the candidates earlier, and we're having a conversation, and with the chat as far as people just asking what are people going to do, and it does seem like I'm seeing the theme as far as the youth, and looking at the 360 model and what they've done with Step Up, you know what I mean, and even what Brother Kasim is doing, working
right?
with you with the Urban Survival Club.
Yeah.
What do you just your thoughts as far as public safety kind of bringing it home in the last few minutes, and the youth part of it?
Y'all
Like,
gotta bring me back, man.
we got to, I know it's a loaded question in the last 4 minutes, but I just had to kind of put that hammer on the conversation and bring it home.
I would say the people that we're elevating to solve our problems are the people who need to be supporting the people who are solving the problems.
Man.
It's a good
So
man.
I want to say specifically to say that people have a vested interest in North Omaha and they're not supporting Kasim, you're not right. I'm sorry. You can't say you for North Omaha and Kasim has an urban survival club. You can't say you for North Omaha, we're not getting behind Sherman Wells. We can't say we for North Omaha, we're not getting behind what y'all doing. We just can't say it. Like we can't say like I'm talking about those grassroots organizations.
The ones that are touching the kids,
And
people.
the trench work, or you know what I'm saying? Like the trench work, the trench organizations that don't get a lot of play. And I feel like we have to. Okay. So my hands, my face, that's the visible. Everybody looking at the visible. But what about those invisible parts like my liver? It's just important. My heart is just important. And so all I'm saying is that when we bring the invisible, which is very important, vital, to the visible, and we start to nurture it and elevate it and say, hey, we need these people. And finally, I'll just end with this one short vignette. I had a friend who said, hey, I want a diverse organization. His board of directors said, no, you don't. He said, yes, I do. They got into an argument. The guy finally said, why do you keep saying that? He said, until you're convinced that you need them, then your organization will never be diverse. I'm convinced until we are convinced that we need young people, that we need organizations like Untamed and Urban Survivor, like if we are convinced that we need them, then our young people will come back around again. And that's what it is. I think we need to continue. We need to help elevate the grassroots ideas, y'all. Thank God for centralized. I'm not here to hate on nobody. I think we all need to work together, and we need to cut this crap out. Like we really need to work together. Everybody need a whooping because we're fighting. You know what I'm saying? Well, we should be working together,
Man.
But I think the young people got the ideas. We need to elevate the ideas. I'm done.
Man.
Oh, man.
We definitely got to bring you back.
Definitely got to bring you back. We definitely need to talk more about that situation. This is the first time I heard that in a minute. Is somebody saying let's elevate the young people's ideas, sit them down to the table. We talk a lot about what we need to put together for the young people, but who's sitting down talking to the young people and
About what they
getting
want.
Right.
mentorship. Big part of everything that needs to be happening. I appreciate that. That's part of your plan as well. And yeah, man, we got lots more to talk about here. William King in the chat saying, keep making boss moves, boss.
Man.
You know, you worked on his campaign, so we appreciate you being a part of that process, man. Local politics is what we really need to do. Tanai Patterson saying grassroots didn't endorse racists. Okay, the grassroots is endorsing some other folks out here. Like I said, Brother Kasim, he talked about endorsing Ewing. We got to get behind Ewing now, like you said. We got to get behind who we got to get behind. It's all it is too. We got to have the togetherness, and that's kind of the message as well. For me, wrapping things up too, when we talked about what just happened with Brother Crawford and his endorsement and the response to that and his response back. And my point is, let's all chill because let's all get together with Brother Crawford, even if he is thinking something different than we might be, because it ain't no one politician that's going to do it for us. It's going to be our togetherness that's going to do it. So I love having a brother like you on that has these ideas. I was just saying while when you were had jumped off for a second that the ideas that you have is similar to the ideas that we have. We all have the same idea when we're coming from a place of supreme love. We all have the same ideas. We just attack them differently. We go about them differently according to our own talents and resources and so on. And so really getting all that together is the biggest piece of this whole thing, man. If we can combine our talents with your talents and we're doing it out of love for the community, then who can stop us?
Right.
Appreciate you, man. Brother Kasim is shouting out Intrigue Midwest. That's
Okay.
that's the spot that you're talking about is the Ritz Carlton of Omaha. That's a dope looking spot, bro. I can see that. That looks like a movie scene right there. That's what's up. And our
Check
brother
me out.
Kasim here.
Yeah.
And
There you
Moss
go.
Lady, I know her as Moss Lady. You know what I'm saying? That's your lady there, and she and I go buy her stuff when I go to the Asian store. I make sure I get my sea moss out of there.
Word.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
get
for real.
right.
And you got rooms you can rent out. It's like Airbnb
Yeah.
style too. That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I didn't even know this a place like that existed out here.
Man. No, that's perfect for a wedding reception. That's perfect for weddings.
Yeah.
I DJ'd a lot of weddings, and that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Have a late night, get a room.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
had a bride, has a bridal party, you sleep, man, changing. Yeah.
With the Airbnb.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, see,
that's what's up.
that's perfect for the bridal party, man.
Oh, bro, we gonna
It's
be up in there.
perfect.
We
It's,
gonna be up in
hey,
there.
y'all need to come over here and do some broadcasts, man. That'd be
Let's
fun.
do a remote show from the
Okay,
remote show from Intrigue. I'm with it.
okay.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. We'll definitely have you back, man. We appreciate you coming on today and stay up and keep your head up,
Man.
and feel the love that the community got for you, bro. Feel it.
I feel it, man. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the Omaha community. I appreciate what y'all doing, man. Keep it up. You guys are amazing.
Likewise,
Thank you,
brother. Likewise.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Good, great guest. I'm so glad he took the time this morning, man. I know he's been busy. I've been trying to get him for a little minute, so I'm so glad that he got to be able to come on and bless us with that interview. That's beautiful. Love it. This is what we're here for. It's what we all about. Really appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that joined us today in the chat. There's chat kind of went off, man, in a big way. I did see Brother Kasim earlier say that he had a conversation with Bud. They laughed about it. You know, I'm saying they might not be on the same page about who to endorse, but he got the point. To me, the point is how do we have togetherness with people that we disagree with, and how can we move forward and so on and so forth. So that's I appreciate that comment there, and everybody else that joined in on that. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And that's what's up. There's a lot more news coming. Check us out on Friends of First Guy Omaha for some of the other articles that we've been talking about and things we've been bringing up. And things that you've been bringing up as well, letting us know about some of the things that's happening in the news. So appreciate that. What's on your mind, buddy?
Man, I'm looking at the chat. There's a couple of things, that can be
Okay.
responded to. But
Did you want to bring them out? We already about 4 minutes over, so you can bring them up if you want to. It's on your mind. I can't. I'm trying to get your attention over here. You steady like. Who they talking about?
Hey, what they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing, man.
What's up?
No, I do. I'm looking at our brother Anthony Rogers. Right. Well, actually, maybe some breaking news. He says Omaha Police Officers Association has just sued Gene Southard and Chief of Police.
Yeah, saw that this morning on the news. Yep.
Man, okay. I missed that one.
Yeah, it kind of broke this morning. I heard it right before the show, actually.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Other than that, I'll say I will. I'll end with this, man. I appreciate what Brother Kasim is having to say, and we should take that energy a little bit more. Again, as you just mentioned, he said spoke to Bud. We laughed and even went back and forth a little bit, but that's brotherhood. We're not gonna always agree on everything, but it never get disrespectful. And some people I am feeling a little off with their head if they disagree with my political views type energy. And you know, we gotta keep the main thing. Like whether brother Ben Gray is whatever his political leanings has been in the past, these are still our brothers. You know what I mean?
We put this together so that we can hopefully demonstrate a way to be able to connect and conversate and respect each other enough to be able to speak our own opinions with each other, disagree with each other, but still be brothers, remain a community. I don't think that what we've been trying to do here is coming across or doing the work that I wish that it was doing. I wish that we could all figure out how to talk to each other differently around here. We're not convincing nobody by attacking nobody. We're not convincing anybody that got to be defensive back.
Our
Just know
whole
what the point
style,
of.
our whole style has always been make your own decision.
Please.
We've never been here to tell people how to feel about anything. I'm gonna speak how I feel, and I might do it with conviction, and maybe that's convincing enough. I'm gonna speak how I feel, and we're gonna try to stick to the facts as much as we can, but take the information and do what you want. Now, if the facts are the facts and you still disagree, that's on you.
Yeah. We all human. We all got the tendency to lash out, and social media gives us this opportunity to really kind of get down and start,
Hey,
gangster keyboard situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you ain't gonna have that energy in Bud face, man. Put on the gloves.
yes, yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why we say the chat. The chat is here for us to speak to each other as if we're speaking to each other face to face. I mean, we all have the tendency. I got to stop myself half the time from saying something crazy when I see something pop up. But I'm making the effort to try to do that. I'm making the effort to make it so that I'm not attacking nobody. Because how can you get anybody to be able to listen if they on the defense?
Man,
We all intelligent enough to know enough about psychology, enough to understand how to speak to people, and you speak to people differently when you come with love, when you come from love in the conversation, and that's the only way that we're going to be able to stay together as a community and get closer.
man, that's our style. Conversation rules the nation. We might say what we want, but hey, man, I would love to talk to Ricketts. I would love to talk to Pillin. Let's have a conversation. Because it might be some things I agree on. There might be some things I disagree on. Nobody's all wrong or all right or all good or all bad.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate that. Brother King in the chat is saying, my mother taught me if someone treats you good, you treat them better because you might need them someday. It's not only reason why, but that's what she said. That's what she said. There's some truth to that as well. She said she batting 1,000. I love Team Crawford. That's what's up. Yeah, it's not for me. It's not the only reason. You might need them. You love, when love doesn't always mean that you are loving only because you be in love back sometimes, like not just because you might need them, but just because you love them, just because we got to be a community. And I really feel like that's the only way that we're going to get over, because when the way I keep these things in perspective, I got to keep them in perspective. We talk about politics, especially during this season, season 2B, ballot of the bullet, all these elections that are happening, all this city stuff going on, but I have to try to keep a balance with it. I cannot depend on any one politician to do anything, any groups of politicians to do anything. That is not where we come from with any of it. It's a piece. It might be 20%, 25% of what I'm talking about. The rest of it has to do with us being able to be a community and get together and make moves for ourselves. Self-sufficiency. That's the only way we're gonna depending on a politician is never gonna make things right for us. Even Senator McKinney says that. He's like, don't put your 100% faith in what I'm doing at the legislature. I'm one part of this. He's also part of the BAA, Black Agenda Alliance, that is all about the self-preservation, the self, do for self, no self, do for self. Like, how else we gonna do this without each other? So all the battling that's inside the community in Omaha is something that I've never seen in anywhere else. I haven't been this involved with the community on this level before, so this is kind of feeling new to me. But I do see that this has been a problem. I think we can all agree that we all agree that we got a little bit of a problem of community and togetherness here. And it's always everybody got beef, and everybody's who's supporting who, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, I forgot to talk about. Well, we did talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
Brother Jones, who's backing now Lavanya Goodwin, Maurice Jones was running for District 2. He didn't win and immediately got behind his candidate. This is another person that's endorsing somebody.
And
Go ahead.
just actually just throwing in, and I haven't really seen it, but you mentioned there's been he's gotten some backlash behind that.
Yeah. I'm seeing some things on social media where they don't like her, they don't like him, they don't like this is what he's doing. And I'm saying I don't agree with everything either one of them got going on either, but I do like seeing one candidate endorsing another candidate, falling back and putting his efforts behind trying to get somebody involved. If it's my choice or whoever's choice it is, I don't know. We're down to 2 choices now in District 2. So who is going to be Lavanya Goodwin, or is it going to be Ben Gray? Who's it going to be? So people are making their decisions. We got a month to go before the general election. And what are you going to do? There's other people endorsing other people as well. This is endorsement as well. See some togetherness. We talked about this. We went from 9 candidates to now we're down to the 2. So who are you going to get behind? What's the other candidates that did not make it? Are they going to get behind some people? Who they getting behind? Got to make some moves with that, but all the moves that are made, I still come back to this. All the moves that are made are just one part of this way that we have to come together. It's just one part. Having some people in political seats is one part of this. We need economic development. We need to be taking care of each other on that level. Buying, going to each other's businesses, being patrons of each other's businesses, taking care of each other's kids, mentoring. There's so many things that we need to do in our community that's not just that will help besides just who's going to be in that seat. There's no way to do it. If we can't figure out a way to get together, then we're in trouble. We've been in trouble because of that. So I'm not sure. And I appreciate everybody who's jumped in there. Tanaya Patterson in the chat saying these are the facts. There is not disrespect in truth, only in lies. How can you say you are of a community and working for the community, then endorse people with policy goals that is killing community? It cannot be both. Fully agree. I fully agree with you. It's in the way that what I was feeling like. It's in the way that we've been approaching each other when we feel that way. There's still a way to have a discussion. We do a lot of, well, I'm just gonna cut that person off. Never mind it.
Man, off with their head.
How disjointed is our community because of that? Figure out a way to be able to still be a community, even when you vehemently disagree on stuff.
Right, because we might feel a way about bringing it back to the specific. We might feel a way about Bud Crawford, endorsing Mayor Gene Stalter. But if I'm not mistaken, he still has a gym that we should still support.
The kids go to his gym, bro. The kids go to his gym.
If I'm not mistaken, he still has the old IC building, which hopefully we should still push for him to do something. Like he's still a part of the equation.
It's being built on now. He has his shop. He's doing stuff in the community in a big way.
Still a part of the equation.
And don't let him win no fights, because we like he's the champion of our city. And then we got disrespectful things to say when he doesn't do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. It doesn't matter who we talking about being mayor. We're talking about being together in our community and not blowing each other up for disagreeing. Figure out a way to be able to persuade the brother in a different direction. Brother Kasim is going to have a better time talking to Bud about his endorsement than anybody online keyboard gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, the point is we got to get together. That's what else is there if we're not going to do that? So apologize for taking more time on this.
I said I was going to stop. You got me going, Paul.
I was going to stop, but buddy, yeah, you too, getting going. I appreciate that. When we're out here trying to do something about helping people do, like Mama God is saying, civic duty, being a part of this. I don't understand how you cannot be a part of the decisions that are being made about your life, how you cannot be a part of local politics. Some people are different levels. Some people learn more, know more. Some people are just starting. So, hey, we all are different levels, and we're always going to be at different levels, which means we're always going to disagree. The point is, how do we stay together and disagree? How do you do that?
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. We're not agreeing with his endorsement. We disagree with the brother with y'all. Like, get that point through, but still our brother.
Yeah, and if I was really, really, really perturbed about the situation, I might go talk to him personally and be like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna talk to you face to face. Like, why did you what?" And come and not just be like, "Why did you endorse her?" So we can argue, but actually be like, give him the benefit of the doubt as a human being who's made a decision based on his knowledge, and maybe he knows something I don't.
Look, I understand why he would like. What has John Ewing done for him? And John Ewing's my cousin, so let's, what I'm saying, like, let's not get it twisted. But looking from Bud's perspective, he just got a parade from Mean Gene.
Ewing's a better candidate, and we can go through all the facts that I promise you we agree on. If you're going to go down the list,
I'm just saying from Bud's perspective,
right.
That's all I'm saying.
And anyway, mine's already made up. That might be the wrong person for him to be endorsing, and it's unfortunate and it's too bad. But that don't mean disrespect him. That still treat him like a human being. He's still in the community. He's still a huge part of the community. He's still a huge part of putting Omaha on the map. Like we're just not. We're just gonna say stuff from a distance. It's counterproductive when it comes to if you have the goal of some community and coming together and being stronger as a community, it's counterproductive to always, be disrespectful and have beef and so on and so forth. It's just disrespectful. I don't know. Brother Dewan, I haven't seen your name in a minute, Brother Dewan Lamar Hayes in the chat saying, I think it's about being able to explain your decision when your face is being used to represent an entire community. Absolutely. Go talk to the brother and find out. Let's interview him, bring him on if he wants to come and tell us what's up. And when he gets done and we still disagree, at least we're respectful. Like at least we brought the brother on. Listen, everybody wants to be heard. Is this the attitude that we have with our kids? Is this the reason why the kids have so much trouble? Is this the reason why Brother Myron Pierce is saying sit with the kids and listen to their ideas? Are we very dismissive with the kids this way? Is this how Omaha is? We just going, no, that's not it. Nope. And you're a fool for blah, blah, blah. And just being like, what?
That's interesting. Here we are about 20 minutes into it, but RG, you might get what you asked for today, but it's interesting though. Like we talk about conversation rules of nation and that's our style, but you just kind of unlock, like, how much are we listening?
Yeah, come on.
How much are we listening to each other? How much are we listening to what the children have to say? What are we really listening to with people? And again, I'm just sharing the thought. But that's the other side of conversation ruling the nation. Not only is everybody speaking up, but how much are we listening?
I mean, we're not. This show is not for us to be making everybody get with a particular political candidate. It's so far from what this is about.
Inform yourselves and make the best decision that fits for you. But hopefully the decision that fits for you, hopefully you're coming from a perspective that what's good for you is, good for everybody.
Yeah. And again, it's inevitable we're going to disagree on a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
All the time. But is that how we but how how can we disagree and stay a community? How? People around here would be like, yeah, I don't mess with him. Yeah, I don't mess with he said this. No, I was done with him. How we just going how disjointed are we if we do that to everybody we got a problem with
or disagree with?
Bro, I'm gonna bring something up too, since we a little bit into this second hour. I'm gonna bring something up because Anthony Rogers Wright is in the chat. And Anthony Rogers Wright is a person that I personally have had a problem with how you've been coming onto the show and attacking people, and you've been coming onto the show with the kind of energies you come onto. Am I kicking them off the show? No, we have to try to work through our disagreements. We have to try. I want people to see when we got a problem, we still brothers trying to work it out. How it everybody else, anybody else would have already been like, nah, he done, he out. Nah, bro. People are more complex than that. People have different parts of their personality. We're trying to set a tone so that we can try to get some conversation happening. We don't want to dismiss anybody who is coming with some ideas. William King's on the chat right now. He's endorsed Republicans. I don't agree with that. William King's still our brother. William King's still a soldier in this fight a media soldier, a media champion of ours. Does he say everything on his radio station that we agree with? No. But what good is it going to do to badmouth folks? You don't want to be badmouthed. You don't want to be stifled in what it is that you believe and want to say and bring out. Have a conversation. What is this thing for? What are we doing here? This is all about having a conversation. Dewan Lamahe, Mama God is saying new union leader said Omaha was the toughest city to work with because we stuck in our old ways. Look at Brother Kasim. Anthony Rogers Wright is my brother. Dewan Lamahe, we need meaningful places to gather to discuss and share ideas that aren't the internet. Church used to be that, but we need more neutral spaces for us. What we need to do is realize that we are in the age of the internet. We are in the age of this is the digital neighborhood association that we have here with First Sky Omaha. We're going to talk where we're going to talk at. We're going to meet people where they're at. You guys are sitting on your phones right now or on your computers right now. Listen to this. We're going to have conversations. What we can do is apply the rules that we have face to face when we're standing in the church talking to each other right here it's not a stretch. We can do it right here on the chat. We can do it right here on the show. So yes, I have a whole motto called live alive with one another. Getting together face to face is the way to do everything, of course. But if we can't do that all the time, can we apply some of those face to face rules to here? You gonna say it to my face, but you gonna come on my page and start talking mess? That's not how you wouldn't say that if I was standing there. And I don't know who wanna make box with Bud, but
squabble up.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody that's coming through. Kethro in the chat with the fact. What's up, bro? Another brother of ours right there, man. What's up, man? Yeah, it's the whole point of this. I just want to make this point why I feel like I got people's attention on this part. The whole reason why First Sky Omaha exists is to bring some togetherness through conversation in our community, bring our community stronger together. That's what we need to be doing for each other. It doesn't make any sense to keep on having beef and battles. We gonna not like folks. You got family members. You got family members that you might not get along with and like particularly and everything else, but you ain't gonna let nobody jump on your family members. Like, chill out with that mess, man. Grandma would come, Big Mama would always come and be like, don't be talking crazy to your cousin like that. Don't talk bad to your brother or your sister like that. Why? Because even if you ain't getting along or disagree, like still, find a way to stay family. Find a way to stay family. I don't know. RG saying, speaking face to face, y'all got Chad Chalmers kickback scheduled? Not yet, but we definitely do it this summer for sure. Definitely do it this summer. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that's come through here, man, and I hope that you are taking all this with love because that's all. That's all that's
yeah.
Yep. Love Supreme, man. But anyway, yeah, man. I feel like I definitely went too far. Now we almost got a 2-hour show going on today. And I think it's just because I'm avoiding. I don't want to do my taxes when we get off this. It's tax season, y'all.
My back.
I shouldn't have even said the T word. I'm cussed on
that. Man. My ears ringing now.
Any last words, buddy? Your ears ringing.
I mean, it's been about 24 minutes of last words. Yeah. Man, the point is, man, we love y'all, and we, our hope is that we can all just come together, figure things out, because I ain't trying to take nobody out, and I ain't trying to be taken out. So the point is, we stuck here together. So let's figure it out.
Yep, appreciate that. Tanaya Patterson in the chat, she was the one on Friends of First Sky Omaha. I was kind of going back and forth with a little bit. She says supporting people committed to continuing to depress North Omaha is not a disagreement. That that can be solved. Can't frame it as pineapple on pizza type disagreement. Not trying to do that. I fully disagree with that endorsement. That don't mean that means that I have a certain way that I want to come and try to maybe approach the brother to see if I can change his mind in a respectful way with him, with understanding somebody taught me when I was about 18 years old. Don't be trying to tell a black man what to do. We got enough people in the country trying to tell us what to do all the time. You allow for somebody to be able to say what they want to say and do what they want to do. RG. Just saying. Anthony Rogers right on this tip too. Now y'all okay? Yeah, y'all. All right. Now we getting out of here.
He said voter increase. He said voter turnout will increase if we stay on. I don't know. Is that the answer?
Hey,
is that why only 20,000 people came out to vote out of 70? Because we ain't do 2 hours.
I mean, that's a compelling argument for us to do 2 hours if that's actual facts.
Hey, I might be inclined to test that hypothesis out. I don't know.
Good looking out on reminding us about that. Chat Chimers kickback will come through this year. We're really gonna try to get together with everybody who's in the chat. Let the show up. We're gonna have to really kind of refine what's going on with the chat. We want to meet you. If you're out of town, we'll give you the date so you can come on in town. We would love to be able to get together face to face and have some conversations to continue it on. But between time, if this is the way that we got to communicate, let's do it. Let's do it here. Let's figure it out. So appreciate it. Appreciate you. Appreciate your last words, buddy. I guess we'll go ahead and get on up. So every time I look over at him, he's like looking at the chat, and I know something.
Yeah, it's going off, but
wheels is turning.
Nope.
Close your eyes, buddy. Close your eyes. All right, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you. Shout out to you, the chat chimers, man, allowing us to have conversations, good conversations with each other without, attacking and just, with us understanding that we're going to disagree. And but we need all the different viewpoints. We need it all.
That part.
I'm not too stuck in my way to not listen to what somebody else got to say and be swayed by that. I'm trying to stay open to my community to be swayed by some of the things that you guys are coming up with because I don't know everything.
Hey, man, a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Pop says again, quite a show. Laugh out loud. Love you all. Appreciate you, Pops. Appreciate everybody that's joined us today. We will be back on the air Friday. Oh, by the way, we have a scheduled change. So Lakeisha Green over at Union for Contemporary Art will not join us on Friday. We got a different date for her now because they have some things they want to announce and they want to wait till those things are ready to announce them. So we will have a different special guest on Friday, but not Lakeisha Green from Union for Contemporary Art, not D Chap. We will be speaking to them soon though. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate y'all and appreciate everybody. Again, this whole community, we wouldn't do this. We'd have love for the community and we'll continue to do it as long as we do. So don't make me hate y'all. No, I'm just playing.
Anthony Rogers, right? I see what you're trying to do, man. Trying to throw it. It's not gonna work. We're getting up out of here. RG. It's not gonna work. You got half of what you wanted. Just be happy. Just be happy.
We're out of here, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.
Leaving one more.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the red